Yo, Tommy, open up!
Welcome to The Rebound, Australia's #1 business show that wakes up the entrepreneur in all of us.
The tools of business have changed, but the principles, they remain timeless.
And we are your hosts, Steve Sammartino, Tommy McCubbin, Rad Yo, and Bertie Ocampo.
We are going to bring together business and technology to empower you.
This is The Rebound. Strap yourself in. Yes, Tron.
Hey Tommy, just got this board meeting, mate. I've got to get through this.
One sec, I'm calling in the girls.
Oh, if I'd known you guys were calling, I would have cleaned up a bit.
We are kind of used to having our colleagues peer into our homes after 2020, aren't we?
Guys, this is episode 7 of The Rebound, the future of work. And you know what? I actually reckon it looks something like this.
Yeah, you're right, Tommy. We can get lots of it done at home, but we still need and want to get together.
Okay, you know what? It's pretty clear. This needs to be shot in the studio. Let's do a history lesson. I'll see you guys at Rebound HQ. 300 years ago, to work was to survive. Everyone in the community contributed by hunting, gathering, and caring. And as time went on, we mastered crops and farms, creating new ways of working, and if you were lucky, pleasure. This agricultural era created wealthy landowners who ruled over the peasant working class. Then came the sprawling cities of the craftsman era, where specialist artisans such as bakers, carpenters and shoemakers all emerged. The industrial and capitalist revolutions changed the rules of the game. The factories needed new workers to meet the demands of the rapidly changing world. It didn't take long for those workers to band together and define the rules of work, demanding safety, fair pay and the 40-hour work week. And within a century, we have an entirely different economy in front of us. The digital revolution is automating chunks of the workforce, creating as much disruption as it is opportunity. Work now is a collaboration with technology. Wasn't that long ago the computer was just thrown on the dining table or tucked away under the stairs. And just like our homes got gourmet bathrooms and kitchens about 20 years ago, now we're going to start saying gourmet offices at home, built for work. This isn't the pro shop, this is an office. See, hanging out in here drinking coffee, this is work.
And this is where I have some summer time. I just put the goggles on and go deep.
And then we come down here, have a break, we get the blood pumping, we have our best ideas. And when we need it, there's always a desk.
Offices are looking more like homes and homes more like offices. It's a space replication. Check out where Tommy and I have been working at 101 Murray Street, South Melbourne. We've got working spaces, free coffee, basketball courts, meditation rooms, even free-flowing beer. I can't tell if this is an office or a house. See, a space like this is the future of work. You feel like something's going to happen. You don't feel that when you're working 9 to 5 in a cubicle farm, do you? There's going to be serendipity, moments of community and connection.
After a summer holiday in India, husband and wife duo Chris and Phoebe had the spark to found Sage and Claire. Taken in by the energetic streets, righteous colours and artisanal products, they saw a unique opportunity to leverage a global team of artisans combined with modern e-commerce technology, branding and marketing strategies. A classic example of a global business reflecting the opportunities the future of work offers. So we're joined by Phoebe, the founder of Sage and Claire, in their beautiful showroom in Melbourne. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for coming as well. It's lovely to have you.
No worries. There's so much beautiful stuff here, all made by people overseas, all of your artisans. What role do they play in the business?
They are absolutely critical to my brand. So they give a beautiful aesthetic to our products. There's an imperfection, they're nuanced, they're textural, they're colourful. We wouldn't be providing these beautiful products without them.
So for any new business starting out, what advice would you give them about engaging a global group of artisans?
2 things. I think it's really critical, if you can, to actually travel to those manufacturers or suppliers that you're intending to possibly work with. Getting to understand their business and them understanding what you want to do is really important. And then I think the second thing is to actually have people that you trust on the ground there too. So we have a team predominantly in India who manage everything right through from sampling to the export of our goods, and without them it would be almost impossible to do what we do.
So we've all had to adapt through 2020. How's Sage and Claire had to change their ways?
Yeah, we've had to change quite a bit. So our supply chain was really impacted, and that made things really difficult last year particularly, and it's ongoing. So that's meant turning on its head lots of things like range launches and very specific marketing calendars that we would have ordinarily subscribed to. So it's meant thinking creatively, I think. And then I think the other thing that we've done is we've kind of viewed our business community differently. So for us to survive, we actually also need all of the people in our community to survive, for instance, our stockists. So we actually started opening up the knowledge that we have, even offering one-on-one sessions to help with elements of their business perhaps that they were struggling with, so that hopefully we can all come out of this together and we can be thriving together.
Do you reckon you've got some operation processes that are here to stay now?
I definitely think we do, yeah. So we as a team, the rest of us, have really become very good, I think, at working remotely, and we've worked out, apps and ways of communicating that we still get that camaraderie that we need, and we still have that workflow, and I think that will probably be here to stay forever.
And so Shopify's been with you from the start, and that's your shop front, which is so important. So what role have they played?
Shopify's been amazing. There's been virtually nothing that we've gone to do that they haven't been able to facilitate us doing. So for instance, I think 18 months ago we brought our wholesale arm in-house, and that meant setting up a whole new website and a wholesale portal for our stockists to shop. And even those things, even with so many variations to how an ordinary site might run, it's been amazing to have Shopify, because thinking creatively, we've been able to achieve what we want to.
So good. I will visit Sage and Claire at sageandclaire.com and get some colour and texture in your house. This is amazing. Thanks, Phoebe.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Have you got a burning question for me? I'm here to answer all of your questions. It's Bertie, B-E-R-T-I-E. I'm Bertie from Shopify, and this is Burning Questions with Bertie. My team wants to work from home now. How will that work? It's a sign of the times, and you're a part of the 64% of leaders who say managing flexible work arrangements is one of their top priorities right now. Here's 4 things you should be looking to manage in your transition to a remote workforce. Pivoting to a remote workforce requires a different mindset. You have to focus on trusting your people and offering more autonomy. At Shopify, we've transitioned to a 100% remote workforce, which is no easy feat. We rely heavily on technology to keep in touch and suggest new remote teams add easy-to-use video conferencing software, a real-time messaging app, a shared document platform like Dropbox, and a collaborative project management tool. Consistent communication is a crucial component for any high-functioning remote team. Asking questions at a regular cadence allows managers to create a culture where employees feel heard, stay productive, and remain accountable. Truly effective managers provide meaningful feedback to each person on their team. Don't forget the feedback. It is critical for remote team success. I don't want to work for anybody else. How do I start my own business? Awesome! Do it! When an entrepreneur starts a business, they may have no idea how far the ripple effect will spread. They might have no clue the impact they will have on their family, employees, communities, suppliers, customers, and the world. But at Shopify, we see it, and we're measuring it. Australia needs more entrepreneurs like you, and whatever business you start is up to you. Whether it be a product or service-based business, Figure out what you love doing and sell your passion to the world. At Shopify, we created a Founder Zodiac quiz so you can find out what kind of entrepreneur you are. If you want to find out if you're the always be prepared cartographer, the brave trailblazer, the steady outsider, the growth-minded mountaineer, or the risk-taking fire starter, head over to Shopify's toolbox found through the Rebound website.
Yeah, Tommy.
Samurai, I just shot a DM and it's quite a big file, so I want you to check it out now. I'm going to hit you on Dropbox transfer.
Dropbox transfer? Boom, how easy is that?
Here's something we're going to see in the future. 0 employee organisations with no one on the payroll. You see, technology has removed the friction between employee and employer. See, we don't need jobs, we just need to create value and do great work. We're joined by Anthony from Reveal Group. Anthony, one of Australia's most exciting companies, which in my opinion has been flying under the radar.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about the Reveal Group and what you're all about?
Sure. Reveal Group is the world's leading professional services company working in the area of robotic process automation and intelligent automation.
It's exactly what we advocate here at the Rebound. What are some examples of how you've had an impact on business?
One that springs to mind is a customer we had that was essentially investing 866 man-hours in an invoicing process across 5 people. We were able to reproduce that activity in 7.5 hours, liberating 3 staff to higher yield activities.
See, I love that idea of higher yield activities, because in our minds, we're always thinking if we gain efficiency, that's the end of people. But most businesses that I know and we work with, they're always saying, I wish we could afford more people and put them in different places. And if they've been involved in some of the infrastructure of the organisation and finance, they already have an understanding so they can be redeployed. Is that what you see happen most often?
Absolutely. So what we're seeing overwhelmingly is organisations are looking at their human capital, their employees, their most valued asset, and looking at ways that we can essentially move them to higher yield activities where they are best positioned to execute appropriately. So what we're trying to do is take the robot out of the human.
Robot out of the human. I'm writing it down. It's going in the next series of the Rebound. I love that. Can we steal it?
Sure.
I've never heard that before, but it's a great way to phrase it.
When he says he'll steal it, he's actually going to steal it. You're going to see it on a t-shirt. But seriously, there's no business that's immune to this, is there? You could have an impact on any shape and size.
It's got mass appeal, all right? You're almost negligent in yourself if you don't have a look at what automation can do. There isn't a business out there, essentially, with less than 20 employees that can't benefit from an automation lens.
And do you think that we're on a precipice of since 2020, there's high demand for this?
Absolutely. I'll pinch a line from a movie. You either get busy living or you get busy dying. So given where we've been, companies are looking for that ability to rebound out of the doldrums into positivity, and there is no better vehicle to do that than robotic process automation and intelligent automation.
So Anthony, what's the first step in getting in touch?
Call us. It's as simple as that. It's the commencement of a consultative approach where we'll utilise our industry-leading tool set to have a conversation to find areas within the organisation that are most suitable for automation.
You know, the thing that I love too, Tommy, is how you've demystified that AI, any business, 20 employees. I mean, you think about it, something for a giant conglomerate organisation, but it's actually for any size business nearly.
Absolutely. We're almost limited only by our own creativity and imagination.
Thanks for joining us, Anthony. Huge insights. If you want to future-proof your company, you've got to get in touch with the Reveal Group. Welcome back to The Rebound. Today is about the future of work, but now it's about the future of action. This is Fast Track Hacks, powered by Optus 5G.
Deep work. When you've really got to get some stuff done, go where you can go deep and not be interrupted by anyone. Match the moment with where you do the work.
Now, if you've got a job you've got to get done, and someone can do it for less than what you charge your time out at, outsource it to them. Better you replace yourself, you can take the margin.
Do it manually on purpose. What if you did something decidedly analog? Thank someone with a handwritten personal letter rather than an email. Let's call it slow tweet. They'll notice the effort.
Work in sprints. Now, humans are better at short spurts of work. Now, forget about trudging along for hours. We're just not built that way. Where you can, design your work in sprints, 45 on, 15 off.
Here's a hack made possible by Optus. Businesses need to be all around the web, so give your customers control on how they connect by aggregating all the links onto one page. Use a platform like Linktree so you can be discovered with one tap. Like most things, the internet arrived in phases. At first, it was something that we went to. We'd go to an internet cafe or log into a big old computer box for a short period of time. Eventually, we started to carry the internet around with us. At first, with laptops, and eventually in our pockets with our smartphones. But the screen we access it through is about to disappear. The internet won't be a thing we log into, it will be our world. It will be wherever we are, and we won't need to carry any tools to access it. Enabled by super fast networks, cloud-based data, and edge computing, it will be the atmosphere we live in. It'll literally be in the walls of every building. It'll run through every single transport device. We'll have a personal internet with real-time data with a mixed reality heads-up display. We'll be living in a computational cage where anyone can know anything, anytime.
So this episode is all about the future of work, and we're joined by Libby Roy, who looks after small business for Optus. Welcome to the show, Libby.
Thanks, Tommy. Great to be here.
There's no one more qualified to comment on how business has changed in Australia. What's your perspective been?
Well, my perspective is that the future of work was changing before the pandemic, but what's happened is that's really sped everything up. And what we're seeing is the type of work, where we work and when we work, it is completely changing. And technology really is at the heart of that.
So do you think, Libby, that this hybrid nature of working, which has emerged rapidly since 2020, do you think that's having a good or a bad impact on efficiency for businesses?
I think it's a mixed bag. And I think it's for every leader, business owner, to actually sit back and really think about what's going to work for their business and for their people. Because on one side of the equation, I think hybrid work is doing fabulous things for people's productivity and their ability to mix their personal needs, their family life, and their professional life. On the flip side, there are some things in business where you do need collaboration and innovation. And I think it's a combination for every business leader to think about what are the technologies and platforms they can leverage to do that in a hybrid world, and when are those critical moments that you need to bring the team together to build the culture and to drive that collaboration. And I really do think it's a mixed bag.
Yeah, just picking up on that, do you think it'll ever go back, or do you think this is a permanent shift in the way we work?
I think hybrid is a permanent shift. I don't think we'll go 100% back to the way we were, but neither do I think that we'll do 100% shift to all being remote.
And for the next generation coming out of school and university, entering the business world for the first time, in such a time of rapid change, what advice would you give them?
Same advice that I would give any generation. Bring their best selves, and what they have is they are digital natives. I think that they can bring great value to the businesses they join, and leaders should be happy to embrace and learn from that younger generation from a technology perspective.
It's a really good point. I don't think anyone is immune to that advice and adopting that way of working.
I actually think reverse mentors are a really great idea, where you actually have a mentor that is a whole lot younger that knows a whole lot of stuff you don't.
Seriously, write that down, reverse mentor. That is gold. I love that.
So we've spoken about being able to adapt and adopt these new technologies. How have you and your team at Optus had to adapt to service these changing businesses?
One of the very big things that we're doing is listening to what the needs of our customers are, and quite frankly, trying to get away from the tech speak and understand, how many people do they have that needs video conferencing capability, who's on the road and needs a mobile capability, so that we can actually deliver the number of devices, the bandwidth and the quality of speed that they need to function for their business.
Thanks for joining us, Libby. Huge insight. Small Businesses of Australia, Libby and Optus have your back. Welcome back to The Rebound. Today's episode was all about the future of work. We learned how business allows us to be productive on our terms, not the conventions of old. Now to finish up, take a seat. It's time for Sama's monologue.
So often, we know what's coming. We see it, we know something will be replaced by a better, cheaper, more reliable technology. But what about when the thing being replaced is actual people? That's a really tough proposition for humans to swallow. But one thing we have to remember is when robots replace us because they're cheaper, that efficiency frees up money to be invested in other places. New industries and opportunities, they always emerge. And the most valued product of the future might just be humans serving humans. Think about music. A streamed version of a song comes at near zero cost, but we'll pay good money to see a person perform a less perfect version of it, literally because a human is doing it. I can't tell you exactly what the future of work is. I really can't, but I can tell you that it will be creative, emotional labour, the kind that only flesh and blood can deliver.
If you feel like reliving this episode by reading it, you can find a transcript in the Dropbox folder on our website, thereboundtv.com. Pick it apart, steal it, use it.
Plus, stacks of clips are on LinkedIn, Insta, TikTok, and YouTube. Hit follow or subscribe while you're there.
Big thanks to our sponsors, Shopify, Dropbox, Optus, Toyota, Microsoft, and Reveal Group.
Next week, we look at the crypto economy and how the blockchain is ready for business to start building it. Caveman currency, shells.
Any business owner looking to deal with cryptocurrency needs a very good understanding of it.
This has been The Rebound. We'll see you next week.